All right. Let's get this started, baby. All right, people. Let me just get a couple things settled and I will welcome you all to the show. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Hold on. Turn off Bluetooth. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on a second. All right. Let me go ahead and connect my computer to my AirPods because this fucker decided to. I don't know why I did that. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are doing this. My dog is here. We are going to be live here, so we might have a guest tonight, but welcome to Get the Memo. This is about the millionth live stream we've done here. This is the first political live stream since I think April. So we might have our friend of the show, guest star, not Naeem, but Aaron Faxon, not Faxman, Aaron Faxon. If he does join, we will for sure be having him. Okay, he's here. Aaron, I will let you in a second. Uh, we're gonna be talking about a lot of things tonight. Uh, we're gonna be talking Ukraine. We're gonna be talking about the lies the U.S. is telling. We're gonna go over people being banned on places, in places like PayPal and Venmo and all of that. We're gonna be talking about some politicians dropping some truth bombs on Ukraine. Oh man, the media's not gonna log that. They ain't gonna lie that at all. I'm telling you something, Bill Clinton. I'm gonna bring this message. Then we're gonna talk about Julie. Well, we're gonna talk about Julian Assange next. Yes. I know the title says Julian Assange first, but that's because it sounded good. We're gonna talk about Julian Assange and how he's our hero of a generation, and we're going to be talking about that. And then we're going to be talking about, well, we're going to talk about how he's been his extradition has been approved to the U.S. by the U.K. because they're puppets of the U.S. And we're going to talk about some voices being censored and about Julian Assange. And then lastly, if we can get to it, we're going to be talking about the Uvalde cops, the corrupt Uvalde cops. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, fuck the police, okay? We are live tonight, and we're going to get into all of these. We're going to be listening to clips from Jimmy Dore. Oh, boy. I'm going to be called a right-wing extremist tonight. Let's go. Even though I'm not, but, you know, that's how they smear you. And we're going to be listening to Jackson Hinkle. Ooh. Two people that have been targeted. So let me go close my door to the studio and I will be right back. My AirPod fell, so now I have to grab that. Let me see if I can dig for it. Here it is. Hope the ear thing stayed on it. Let's see. It did. Great. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So let me grab Aaron. We will bring him into the show. I will add his podcast to the description. Faxman's Musings after the show. So make sure, Aaron, if you want, I know you can hear this. Text me the link. I will post it in the chat. For now, I'm going to add you to the stream.
The star has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Just kidding. Dude, I had so many bad jokes I was telling as I was listening to you talk. Like, you said, I'm going to be a right-wing extremist tonight. I said, I'm going to be a chicken wing extremist tonight.
A barbecue chicken wing extremist.
Oh, yeah.
I want to lick your barbecue. Oh, boy, that went there. Oh, boy.
Just keep your breast to yourself, okay?
But I'll take your legs.
They're thighs, okay? I don't have any legs. Oh. They're all just one big thigh.
Oh, well, I mean, so both of them are just one big thigh, or are they two separate thighs?
Whatever you want.
As long as I can have them all.
Oh, hey, you know how it is. You gotta have them all.
You gotta have them all, and dip it in some sauce.
Like a boss.
Yeah. So what topic that I described are you okay with talking about? I don't want you to,
dude, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm as open as prostitutes' legs. Just kidding.
Whoa! And ladies and gentlemen, breaking news live here on the show. Aaron is actually a prostitute. So if you are in need of a prostituto,
un prostituto,
a prostituto, we will have Aaron fax it here. So just type in the chat. Make sure you guys type in the chat. Leave your like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press post notification so you never miss another one of these live streams. Well, looks like you got your fine ass over here. That's right.
You bet I did.
Let's see if we see the paper, boy. Anyway.
Damn time.
Let me take a sip of soda. Oh,
my. That's great.
So spit some under my arm. All right.
That's what she said.
No. I'll spit some under your arm. And then I'll lick it. Oh my gosh.
So a full episode full of sound effects.
We need to have sound effects.
We need to have like an episode that's just full of nasty ass sound effects.
We need to have a soundboard anyway, like just a soundboard, because
yeah.
I don't have that. I can I get a virtual one where I can just click on shit, or do I have to have like an actual soundboard?
If you want to click on shit, just look at a picture of a toilet.
I'm just.
You click on it, and it's like one of those like kids games, and it like shoots water out of the freaking toilet every time you click on it.
Well, I can imagine if you click on it, it like wets you because you're,
You turned on somehow by a piece of porcelain.
What was that?
You're turned on somehow by a piece of freaking porcelain.
Oh, that went there. Oh boy. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and goys.
Boys and goys. Nice pronunciation.
Let's see if I can grab our first clip here.
By the balls that Nine doesn't have.
So I
do approve this message.
I do approve this message. Hillary, I did not do it. I swear to God, I did not do it. I mean, I did, but I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
There was no contact. There was just projectiles.
It was projectiles. There might have been a blue dress.
A pearl necklace.
Don't tell. What's his name? The special counsel. Star. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. I swear to God, don't tell him.
Too late.
I'm here, Mr. Clue. Oh no!
Get the out.
Now, I have a couple sound clips that I could a couple. Here's a sound effect I know you'll like.
Oh damn! Let's do it.
All right, here's one I know you'll like. Watch this.
What?
No, do I have that one? Do I have that one?
I thought you sent it to him.
I have. Well, I sent it to, but I don't know if I have it.
I will forever have. I will forever it will forever show that Oscar's more gullible than me. That sound effect.
And you know, for me, that makes fun of him all the time. I love it.
Like, you guys make fun of me for snoring, but I'll tell you, it's worse for him because he's expected to be smart.
What was that?
I said, y'all make fun of me for snoring, but yet he's expected to be smart. He's expected to not fall for things.
Right? Like, he's expected to not be like, oh, what? But I feel because he was watching the same thing you were.
Yeah, he was.
Like, that's where I was confused.
Too.
Right? Like that. For me, I was like, hold on a second. I want to see something.
Oh, well, you came to the wrong place for that.
Oh, what the hell? It says the video is way too short. That's so. I was gonna share the burp clip.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but I can't.
All right, no. I got something for you. Listen close.
Okay.
Alexa, fart.
What the?
That was a lie. Try asking me. Lexx fart. Or
Random.
It sounds like a jet was like a Cessna was like being started.
Random.
What?
Try asking me. Farts. Or say random.
Random.
What the?
That was a difficult one. Try asking or say random.
Random.
Is she on the toilet?
Yes.
It sounds like she's on the fucking toilet.
Random.
Oh. Oh, jeez. Wait, hold on. I think I have one. I think I have one you'll really love.
Try asking me for a silent fart.
Wait, hold on. I have a sound effect for you.
Alexa, stop. Oh my gosh, I gotta cry.
Right. Here one. That is, ladies and gentlemen. Why are we starting our stream doing sound effects? Watch this. Anything.
This is the kind of crap that goes down.
Aaron, are you awake?
Oh yes.
Oh boy. Let me. So we once had a bear on our stream, and I didn't know that.
And I was naked.
No, it's not Yogi the bear. It's Aaron the bear.
And I'm naked.
And oh,
Just kidding.
well, if we listen closely, it gets even better.
That's what she said.
Oh. Oh, jeez. I am you there? Oh. Oh.
Hello. Question. Sorry, I fell asleep.
Hold on. All right.
No, okay, for real though. How many of your friends who will actually be willing to make fun of themselves live?
Oscar, yeah, there's a few of you. There's a few.
No,
I have
no, nobody
I have
does
a
it
lot.
like I do. Screw that. Nobody does it like I do.
Hey, do I have Oscar's photo on here?
You don't want to scare the people. Come on now.
Hold on. I wonder if I have it.
You don't want to scare people now. Come on, man.
He's already been on the show. Hold on.
Yeah. And how many people left your stream once he got on there?
Don't make him feel bad if he ever watches this. I mean, he's in Iowa, so
Bro,
still.
okay, like for real though, but you okay, don't give me any of that crap because you know just as well as I do that if it was the two of you on here, y'all would have been taking jabs at everybody else. Now it's my turn.
Wait, I think I found it. Hold on, let me click on this.
That's what she said.
Wait,
That's what he said, actually.
oh yeah. Like here it is. Let me save it to my. Let me just save it.
you thought when you pulled that snoring clip, I was gonna get so pissed, didn't you?
No, I just knew you would laugh at it because when I first played it, I thought you were gonna get mad, but it was hilarious as hell.
It was, but did you expect my reaction to like totally slide into it instead of going against it?
Well, no, the first time that I ever played it for you, which was on Oscar's stream, I thought, oh, this is gonna make him mad, or at least I just thought I was like, well, he's gonna do something. Okay, let me see if this will play.
That's what she said.
Let's see.
That's what she said. And Washington selects Kenny Pickett, quarterback.
What?
Just kidding. Oh my god! I trolled you so hard.
Ah, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Oh, I'm gonna be pissed if that comes true though.
Knock on
I'm
wood.
pissed at you. I'm gonna be pissed that I'm gonna end the stream.
Ah, I love it.
Me too, man. That was great.
Best clip ever. I want to get the part where he's just like, what?
Honestly, I would too.
I just want to grab. But apparently it won't let me play short ass clips.
It won't let you play. It won't let you play ass clips. Why not?
Oh yeah. So, oh boy, that was funny.
That was probably like the best moment in his channel. That view on his channel probably got him more views than anything else did.
I'm not sure. Because it's a short, so it doesn't tell me.
That's a bummer because that would have been awesome to actually see.
Does it? I mean, you can find his channel.
I honestly
All right.
I've got to look it up one of these days. I've got to.
Yeah, you have to. All right. So, that was a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Aaron Faxon, and we do a lot of things. Aaron, if you could send me your link, I'll post it in the description after the show.
Oh, I got you, buddy. No worries. I got you.
All right. So we're going to try and go until 6:30 at least because the Dodgers are playing. I can't miss that game. By the way, I have hot Cheetos. Anyway,
don't talk about your personal life with me. Come on now.
Can I talk about my personal thighs?
You may be able to.
Oh.
It just depends.
I'll let you sit on my lap. Okay.
Very nice.
I bet audience members are going, what the fuck are we watching?
They probably think they're watching something from Adult Swim.
They probably think that we jumped on a FaceTime call and accidentally did it on StreamYard.
You know what? That's probably not the truth.
That's probably, yeah. All right. You ready to get into some politics?
Yes, I am.
Ooh, I'll get in your politics. Okay. So, we all know that let's get into Ukraine. We all know that the U.S. has been peddling lies about Ukraine. So we've gone over in the channel before how Ukraine is A bunch of lying fools in the government. Everything all right there?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. Just get into a
Okay.
quiet,
What was that?
quiet, natural place.
A natural place.
So, by the way, I want to tell you something really interesting. So, for those of you who don't know what my day job is, I answer phones and I help people with their food stamps and Medicaid and stuff like that for the Department of Children and Family down here in Florida. And it was interesting today. I got to see some of the residual effect of what's happening in the Ukraine because one of my customers was a Ukrainian refugee.
That would be interesting to go into. So, but
I'm
that
not
would
trying
be
to
interesting.
do all. I'm not trying to steal anybody's thunder or anything. I'm just this is really interesting because she didn't have a social or anything. She was literally just given a confirmation number, and I had to look her up based on that.
I bet you have a confirmation number.
You would know.
I play it all the time. Anyway.
Mm.
Oh. All right. Let's start this again. So we all know that the U.S. has been lying about Ukraine. We know that they have been working with a bunch of Nazis. We know that the Ukrainian military has a bunch of Nazis in it, neo-Nazis. And, out here in the United States, they say, oh my God, Trump supporters are a bunch of neo-Nazis. Well, when you talk to people like my Democratic bootlicker friend, Adam Levins, they'll tell you they're okay with them having Nazis. Oh, it's only a minority, even though it's really only a minority of Trump supporters in a minority of the country that are neo-Nazis. But, no, they're neo-Nazis. Ah! So, I'm going to play a Jimmy Dore clip because I could do this all on my own, but I'd rather just let someone else talk and I'll just play it.
Bro, I'm
Jimmy
down,
Dore is
man.
going to, So I'm going to play this clip, and it's going to talk about how people are being suspended for saying what I just said, calling Nazis Nazis, but on Twitter, because they are Nazis.
Well, it goes into the idea of censorship too, because a lot more platforms are being censored now and everything. But I mean,
well, yeah, and we're gonna get into that with PayPal, and so here's the clip, and I'll pause it here. So just remember, there's a reason I haven't covered Ukraine as much. A, I'm busy, but also I'm afraid of what they're gonna do because they've been censoring everything. So this is a historical video, kinda, where we're gonna go through the past of what every mainstream media organization and politician was saying about Ukraine before. Isn't this interesting?
And by the way, I don't think your StreamYard stream is geo-blocked, so I think anybody can see it.
Yes, I have to look that up. I remember you talked about that on our last stream. I was actually thinking about that the other day. So let's talk about that. Even if it's geo-blocked, you can still get censored. They can still not.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is you have a much more likely chance to get censored if you're not geo-blocked. There was an YouTuber that was basically, even though he was by youth laws, because his content was not geo-blocked and it showed up in Japanese in the Japanese YouTube algorithm, he was sent to court and sued and lost his channel because he was in violation of Japanese media laws.
Oh. Even though he's not Japanese, right?
Exactly. But it doesn't matter. If your content is not geo-blocked and your content shows up in on YouTube apps in other countries, you are technically bound by their laws too then.
That's interesting. I did not know that. Because the last time we talked about it was Saudi Arabia coming after me for the crap I say. But let's get into this video, and we'll pause it here and there.
You go, brother. You got it.
Can you hear it?
Not yet, but I'm sure you haven't played it yet.
Wait, hold on. So you can't hear it at all? Well, hold on.
If you're using a screen reader, you gotta hover your you gotta put focus on the actual play button in the middle.
What normally hold on. Technical difficulties. So it's right
Please
above
stand by.
the play.
Please stand by in the
So
elevator music.
hold on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go stop the screen share, and I'm just gonna. But we'll do that, and then we'll reshare it, because we're screwed if we can't do that. Share screen. This is gonna jump.
I mean, if you know the gist of it in a nutshell, then you might be able to give a little bit of supplementary.
Oh, sure, yeah, but I don't wanna.
I know you don't wanna. I'm just saying, you got a backup, and if you need it.
I'll back you up if you keep going.
Well, I'll always keep going. So what are you going to do about it?
Back you up.
Just use your hard drive. Oh,
Ooh. I use your hard disk.
Look, only thing I see from yours is floppy.
How do you know what mine looks like?
Yeah, wasn't impressed. Oh.
All right, let's see. Let me see if you can hear this.
I never get tired of doing this. I have to show people how the
You're good, brother.
establishment media once covered Ukraine Nazis and how they cover them now. Commentary,
Okay, great.
Ukraine's neo-Nazi problem. That's from Reuters. And what year was this? This is from 2018.
All right, so these are from 2018, 2019. So before the Ukraine war, when Trump was president, ladies and gentlemen, they kept saying, "Oh my God, there's a neo-Nazi issue in Ukraine." Now, let me give you a bit of history. Remember in the first live stream of Ukraine, the first ever live stream of the channel, we did it on Ukraine because it was the biggest hot topic in the world and still is. We talked about how Obama and Biden did a coup in 2014 and overthrew the democratically elected government. And I forget the name of their president that they had after. This is when I wish Naeem was here. And they worked with the Azov battalion, who are a... What was that? I think
when you said you wish Naeem was here, first time you ever said that.
That is the first time I've said that. Well, no, actually, no, because I've done other live streams. I'm like, God damn it. And other videos. I'm like, ah. So I think it was Poroshenko. I don't remember what I right. So anyway, they did that. Russia had to go in and invade to stop the shelling of its people in the Donetsk and Luhansk region, and they kept shelling the people, even though they had an 8-year agreement, mix agreement, and Zelensky rejected peace, and they know that they can't join Ukraine, that Ukraine can't join NATO. They know that Russia's got a problem with it, and we know that this is all a war for fossil fuels. That's what we know. So
why do you think our gas prices have gone up so much?
That's right, and we'll get into that. And when you are paying 5, 6, I heard somewhere was $7 a gallon.
In Turkey, it's $9. In Turkey, it's $9.
$9. Woo, Jesus! But here, I mean, it's like $5-6 a gallon. So I mean, my cousin is spending 60, like, what is it, 60 a day? I think she said 60 every 2 days or every week. I don't remember what she said on the phone yesterday. So either way, your gas prices are going up, food production's going down, baby formula's out, fertilizer's out. We're gonna get into that, by the way. So either way, they were okay.
Okay.
They were okay with working with neo-Nazis before the Ukraine war because they caused it. Now that Putin's defending his own people, now neo-Nazis are okay. They're perfect. Everything's fine. The hypocrisy. But if you talk about a Trumpist person here, they're going to say, oh my God, neo-Nazis. So these are articles from when Trump was president, and they're rightly pointing out the neo-Nazi problem in Ukraine, but there's a bit of hypocrisy there from their past in Ukraine.
So before the Ukraine war, they were telling you the truth. Hey, they got a Nazi problem in Ukraine. The Hill, when we can't agree to fight against neo-Nazis, we've reached a new low. That's also from 2018. Here's another headline. Rights groups demand Israel stop arming neo-Nazis in Ukraine. That's also from 2018.
Yeah. They say, oh, Israel should stop doing it. Israel should stop murdering the Palestinians and pushing them out of the West Bank. That's what they should stop doing. Israel should stop taking away the education of the Palestinians. Israel should stop bombing the Palestinians. They're committing human rights violations, just like the United States, by the way. We do that too. But now, forget the Palestinians, the neo-Nazis. Now no one's talking about the neo-Nazis and how Israel funds them and provides weapons and aid to the neo-Nazis. No one's talking about Palestine anymore. Remember last year how Palestine was in the news? Oh my God, Israel's bombing them, and da, da, da. You don't hear shit about that right now. So
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Why? Because it serves the political interests. Oh, well, we got Ukraine. There's a problem. There's been a war in Palestine where Israel's been doing what Ukraine is doing. Israel's been doing what Russia's doing. And guess what? Because the United States are allies with Ukraine and because they're allies with Israel for that big dollar, they don't call out Israel for what they're doing in Palestine. It's channels like mine and Jimmy Dore and Jackson Hinkle and others that call out Israel for what they're doing in Palestine. And but right now, these days, you don't hear anything about Israel funding the neo-Nazis.
Well,
saying.
so this
Neo-Nazi.
this illustrates a point that I've been making for a long time. I apologize for interrupting you, and that is, it's not about what you're fighting; it's just about fighting. People want something to fight against, so they're going to jump on the closest bandwagon, say they have a personal connection to it, and then get butt hurt when something doesn't go the way they think it should go.
Right, and I mean, I love how they did a concert for Ukraine.
The only benefit concert you need to do, and that will actually benefit from, is you not having a concert.
Exactly. Like, what? Why are you gonna have a concert for Ukraine? Yes, I feel bad for the Ukrainian people, but not because of them, but because of you, the United States government.
Nazis and the far right are on the march in Ukraine. That's from 2019.
Okay, that's 2019.
Are they really neo-Nazi? Are there really neo-Nazis fighting for Ukraine? Well, yes, but it's a long story. Here's Rokana. Ever since the Orange Revolution began under President Bush, the United States has been complicit in the rehabilitation and spread of neo-Nazis in Ukraine. Enough is enough. Our government must stand up to the Azov Battalion and other fascist groups. That's from 2018. Rokana would then go on to vote to give those Nazis $40 billion and call anybody who opposed it a Russian. That's what the kind of guy Rokana is, because he wants to be president and he's got no character.
Yeah, and when they say, "Oh, progressives are there for you," the Democratic Party is there for you. The Democratic Party doesn't work for you. The Democratic Party works for Comcast,
Themselves.
ExxonMobil, Honeywell, Boeing. What?
Themselves.
Well, they work for these people to benefit themselves, to get the benefits. It's corruption. They work for the insurance industries. They work for the arms industries. They work for big pharma. They work for
I have a hell of an example of this.
Okay.
If you go, and anybody can watch this, I have no problem with you doing this. I took a course in environmental policy when I was in my bachelor's program, and I've seen this firsthand. If you go and you Google World Watch vital signs, you can actually get a complete year-by-year breakdown of different kinds of energy consumption's history in the United States. And you can look and you can see I had to do a project on wind and solar. It was 15 pages of writing and 2 spreadsheets, and it sucked ass. Anyway, the act of actually making the project was the tedious part, but I was interested in the material, and that was every single state in the U.S. except for one has, to a certain degree, embraced the idea of solar power. That one state that hasn't yet is Arizona.
Yeah.
And there's a reason I mentioned this. You talk about how Democrats work for these companies, and the main reason they work for these companies is because these same political constituents that you see have controlling stakes in owning shares in those companies. And when you consider the fact that, what people would do when they had solar power is they would actually conserve the electricity and then sell it back to the electric companies. In Arizona, you had people working for electric companies who also had political leanings. therefore causing these same becoming lobbyists and causing extra taxes and laws to be placed upon solar panels in Arizona where nobody can afford to buy them. And that's why you see that energy consumption going down. But there's a parallel between what you're talking about here with the Ukraine and the Democratic Party and this situation.
Right. And so Aaron's point is basically it's from the bottom up because they get you involved, they get you a nice little fat check, you can help your family, and that's how the corruption keeps going. But back on my argument, the progressives don't work for you. They didn't give you health care in the middle of a pandemic. They didn't fight for the minimum wage. They wrote a sternly worded letter. That letter was very stern. They didn't force the vote on that. They didn't force the vote on healthcare. They haven't forced Biden to cancel your student debt. We're still in endless, senseless, illegal wars. The United States government are criminals, and they are hypocrites in Congress. The Justice Democrats who say, "Oh my God, this is a problem. Neo-Nazis are a problem," and then Ro Khanna gives $45 billion to the Nazis in Ukraine. Yeah, and what's happening to those weapons in Ukraine? Well, what's happening to those weapons in Ukraine is a couple things. Number one, it's either being stolen and captured by the Russians, or they're being destroyed by the Russians,
or being used against us.
Oh, it depends on what war, but typically, because we've literally spent more money on the military than Russia. We've literally spent the amount that Russia spends. We've spent more than the EU. So that's what's happening. Your tax dollars are not going to your health care. They're not going to provide you baby formula. They're not going to your minimum wage. They're not going to any of your benefits. They're going to give Azov Nazi people, sub-Nazis, weapons. And Ro Khanna said that. So just know that the Democratic Party are hypocrites, okay? Here we go.
I was going to say, and by the way, speaking to the Democratic Party, the face of the Democratic Party right now is our president, Biden, who will go down in history as the most oblivious president in the entire in all of American history.
Yeah, and they say that Trump was oblivious. Okay, let's get to this.
The neo-Nazi problem in Ukraine is just Russian propaganda. There it are.
See,
there they
you
are.
Go. The hypocrisy.
That's a Ukraine flag with a Nazi swastika right in the middle.
Can you see that?
Give me a second.
Did you see the flag with the swastika?
Yeah, I see it right now.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I paused is Ukraine is putting swastikas on their uniforms. They're putting it on their flags. And you see it right here. I'm not saying it. They are. Oh, well, it's from Jimmy Dore, so it's a right one. No, he's sharing the article. And what does this show? A swastika on a Ukrainian flag.
By the way, we talked about this last time. I said that what's going on with Ukraine is the same thing that happened in World War II when Germany came to invade Austria. Because some people thought they were already part of Germany, that were a part of that country.
Yes.
Germany was basically able to walk in and take over without any struggle whatsoever, but then make themselves look good by making it look like there was a tough battle.
Well, sure, exactly. They bombed and they did all kinds of things, but look here. There's a swastika.
Oh yeah.
You look at the colors, and then you can see the swastika right there. You cannot tell me there are no neo-Nazis in Ukraine. You cannot say that. And that they're not putting Nazi symbols on their uniforms and on their flags. Look right here. Okay. Just because I have people say they don't have Nazis. And then when I point to my big brother, James, hey, they have Nazis. They ignore it. They call Zelensky the daddy of Ukraine. Yeah, the daddy. What daddy would bomb his own people? Okay.
Why am I showing you all this? I'm showing you all this because this guy tweets this.
Now watch this.
Ukrainian forces are using their freshly received new U.S. weapons, not against Russian forces, but to bomb the Ukrainian civilians town of Donetsk. Surprised? So they're bombing their own people in Ukraine. Who's doing that? The Nazis again.
The Nazis have always done it, but they keep bombing Ukraine, the Nazis, and we're supplying the weapons. Let's keep going with it.
You shouldn't be. This is perfectly predictable behavior for Nazis.
Oh, and this is what they said.
So he
about
tweeted
Trump.
that out.
Okay, so
It's boycott U.S. David Z. Orphan. Twitter suspended his account for it.
What?
Twitter suspended his account for that. Your account has been suspended for specifically for violating our rules against hateful conduct. What?
what hateful conduct is there, Aaron? What is the hateful conduct there? Tell me.
I am clueless. I'll be honest with you. Like,
Right?
I don't like this. This is the thing. This is what we talked about from the beginning. The propaganda that's being spewed is creating hate, creating conflict, creating confrontation where it does not exist, and that is being done with the division of political parties in the United States just to keep people from looking at what the true problem is.
Well, sure, but look at these corporations saying, "Oh, this is for hateful conduct." But by the way, they don't identify what the hateful conduct is. All he's pointing out is, "Hey, we're giving Nazis weapons, and this is what they're doing with those weapons. They're killing their own people."
If someone lies,
the Nazis are.
if someone straight up lies to you, what's the one thing they're going to do when you ask them a question to make it look like they're not lying? They're going to keep all their answers vague.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
You may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease.
What does that have to do with anything?
Exactly.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
They weren't attacking anyone's sexual orientation or gender or race.
Maybe somebody should attack your lack of credibility.
Exactly.
What part of that did any of that?
Yeah, exactly.
None of it. Here's Wyatt Reed says it's now considered hateful conduct to refer to armed forces of Ukraine as Nazis.
Oh, so you can't refer to them as Nazis, even though what did he show in the beginning? Reuters, The Guardian, the New York Times, all these people calling them Nazis. They literally called them Nazis. But when the mainstream, when the political operatives and the oligarchs change the narrative, our social media companies are going to follow the narrative. And if you have anything to say that's not the narrative, they're going to censor you. So hold on.
Their National Guard has an official neo-Nazi unit, which is distinguished by their Nazi black sun patches. But if you call them Nazis, it's ground for being permanently banned on Twitter.
So they showcase that they're Nazis. They act like Nazis. They bomb their own people. The National Guard has Nazi black patches on their uniforms, but you still can't call them Nazis.
Okay, let's just say this. If it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck,
if it quacks like a duck,
the damn thing's a duck.
And you can't you cannot.
Oh, but you're not allowed to call them a duck. Remember?
No,
you're not allowed to call them a duck.
You're gonna be suspended. My dog, he barks. And he licks people like a dog, and he goes through my trash. The son of a bitch, like a dog.
Remember, we can't be friends unless I don't call him a duck.
And I can't call my dog a dog. I can't call Ace a dog unless.
You know why? You know why? Because he told me he doesn't. He self-identifies as a cat.
As a cat, that's right. And he does act like a cat sometimes, but more like a dog. But if I call him a dog, I'm gonna get suspended on Twitter.
No, you know what?
This is all censorship. Hold on. This is all censorship.
He self-identifies as a boa constrictor.
This is, yeah. They act like Nazis. Like I said, I pointed out all the features, just like he did, and you still can't call them Nazis. I wonder why. Maybe because it's actually calling out the bullshit for what it is. Bullshit. Let's continue.
Because the world can't handle straight shooters.
Azov Battalion drops its neo-Nazi symbol exploited by Russian propagandists.
Oh,
Oh, they're saying we're all the Russian. It's Russian. What they do is they look at our Nazi insignia, and then those damn Russians tell everybody.
If only they could remove their tattoos as easily.
Yeah, you know, the Nazi tattoos, the
So-
swastikas that they have.
Yeah.
Twitter doing great work, and the Young Turks and all the people who are in their satellites cheer on this kind of, like that David Dole guy, the Rational National. He cheers this on. Every time they do this, he goes, it's a private company. If you break their terms of service, they can do this. He's for it. That's the kind of lefty that is in the TYT orbit. The pro-censorship, pro-corporate, pro-war lefty who hates Julian Assange.
And all these companies, by the way, for Gay Pride Month, like PayPal, for example, who just banned a lot of people over their Ukraine war coverage for life. Their slogans for this month is "Open for All," and they have the Gay Pride, flag in their bio and stuff. Yet apparently, it's not open for people who report truthfully on what's going on around the world in these wars.
Yeah, so I know I let it go on, but these guys, if you have the Rational National, Mike Figueredo over on the Majority Report, no, that's Sam Sater, the Humanist Report, the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, Nomiki Konst, all these mother effers are pro-war, pro-censorship, pro-imperialism. Just because a company has terms of service, it's not just because they have terms of service. Oh, it's a private company. Oh, so it's okay to censor the truth. It's okay. And by the way, their terms of service don't actually hit what you say.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
don't.
Which, by the way, can I just ask, when was the last time you bought a product and you actually read the terms of service?
Yeah. When does anybody?
But
And
that's
we
the thing.
should.
And okay. I know we probably shouldn't be quoting this, but South Park has the funniest freaking episode making fun of it, and the episode was called "The Human Centipede,"
Okay.
and it talks about it makes a really freaking funny joke, and basically it says, so I don't know if you know this, but you signed the Google terms of service. That means now we can connect you to, we can now sew you at like a Siamese twin to two other people by like butt to mouth.
But man, Kyle, this took my balls. Man,
But man,
man, I'd like to get a toy. Tell Kyle I'd
can
like
you
to get
guys
a toy.
understand?
Time the service. Kyle, suck my balls, Kyle. Man. Anyway, why are we doing carbon impressions?
No, but my point. Okay, look, I was making a point. We're making a point. Like terms of service. I mean, you're like companies have it. People just don't read it.
Yeah. And but the thing is censorship and terms of, it's a private company, they can do whatever they want, are different. They're cheering on censorship. What's that quote that says, first they came after the Jews, I didn't do nothing. Then they came after the Nazis, I still didn't do nothing. And then they came for me, and there was no one there. I'm saying the quote wrong. I'm butchering.
It's the boy who cried wolf.
It's the boy who cried wolf. No, I'm not going to do anything. I support censorship. I'm not saying that. That's what the Young Turks are saying. And they support censoring media organizations like WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. And ladies and gentlemen, just because Twitter has terms of service need to match your violation. Your violation needs to match the terms of service. They're not using their terms of service because people are actually violating the terms of service. They're doing it to protect the oligarchs. That's not supposed to be used for terms of service. That's not it. So just remember when on your channels, you see on your accounts, when you see the Young Turks and David Dole, the Rational National, and David Pacman, and the Majority Report with Sam Sater, and Nomiki Konst and Emma Vigeland, and the Young Turks with Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian, and the Humanist Report with Mike Figueredo, when you see all of those, they're all pro-war, pro-censorship, pro-imperialism, and that
Bro,
that
have you
is
like
the
a piece of
scariest
parchment in
thing.
front of you or something when you did that?
Huh?
Did Did you have like a damn piece of parchment in front of you when you did that?
Did what?
When you named off all those names?
No, these are all the channels that are supposed lefty progressive channels.
No, I know. I'm just saying the way you rattled them off. It sounded like you were pulling out a cartoon humorous style piece of parchment, and you were just freaking naming off people.
No. Because I know these channels. Because I watched them for years.
It's just hilarious. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. This is what I do all the time on my channel. So just realize that they're okay with you being censored as long as it keeps up the narrative. Okay, that's all it is.
Again, this is how they would have did it. If you would have said that Iraq has no WMDs, you would have been banned from Twitter.
That's right.
Yeah.
And look at Phil Donahue, Ed Schultz, and Jesse Ventura. They all got fired from MSDNC, is what I call them, and MSNBC and all of them, because they told the truth about the Iraq war, how there were no WMDs, how it was all a farce, they had no vials. Dick Cheney's telling Judy, whatever her name is, from the New York Times, I told them they have vials. And then, the Iraq has vials. Oops. And then, what's his name? Colin Powell, who passed away. I think, did he pass? I think he did. He went over to the United Nations, the UN, and he said, "Oh my God, they have vials. Look!" And he brought out these vials, and there's a reason the French didn't want to join Iraq, and I think Germany too. And the reason why is because it was a U.S. aggressor war. Okay, but if I would have said that back in 2003, and Twitter would have existed, and YouTube would have existed, I would have been banned. Because it would have gone against the narrative. Look at the Dixie Chicks. A 17-year hiatus. Why? Because they told the truth.
Look at. I'll give you another example. Look at. It's not the same. Well, okay. Look at what's happening to. Because there's the narrative extends further than just war. The narrative extends to race and gender and social justice and everything too. Because if you look at what happened with Dolly Parton. If you look at what happened with Roseanne, her show got basically like they tried to reboot it, and then they had to reboot it because she supposedly said something she wasn't supposed to say.
She said, "I thought the bitch was white." That's what she said. That's what she said. And by the way, when they rebooted it the first time, it had such high ratings. Everybody was talking about it. I kid you not. All my friends were talking about it. Facebook and Twitter it was everywhere. Then they try and reboot it without Roseanne Barr, who it's named after, and it doesn't work.
And
it fails.
She was that show. But yet she went only slightly out of the norm, and now she's gonna be vilified for the rest of her life because of it. Her career is over because people did stuff like that.
Yeah, and they canceled her. And look at the whole gender thing. We have to now say they and them and theirs and his and hers and him and he and she and.
Why do you think I'm homeschooled?
If I ask the question because I'm curious, I'm just I'm very curious because I don't understand it. If I say, hey, why can someone be a they if they are one person? A they is plural. I'll get censored for that. And if I ask that at my school, if I ask that in a library, if I ask that anywhere, I'll be vilified. So you can't be curious anymore. You can't ask questions.
Oh, you can be curious, but you can only be curious if you're going. Well, no, it's not even that. Okay, for those that. Okay, bear with me. For those that are curious, like, how do I put this? Those that are curious can be curious only if they're curious about identifying as a different gender than other. Than a different gender other than what your genitalia tells you are.
Yeah, exactly. And some. Oh, I'm pansexual. I'm transsexual. Okay, well, what does it mean to be bi? Oh, it means you're both. You like both. Okay, what does it mean to be pansexual? It means both. Why do we have to have these different types? If I ask that question, I'm not saying it because I'm a homophobe. I'm just trying to understand where all this logic came from. The problem is
Or lack
they threw
thereof.
all this on us. They threw all of this on us without even telling us, here's why, here's this. And yeah, there are people that wouldn't listen, but at least it's out there. So let's finish this topic because then we got to go on to PayPal.
I got
So
you, buddy.
that's what's happening. And we're living in it. And the problem is the people who are supposed to be lefties, and they're all for this.
Yep.
So they think they're lefties, but they're authoritarians. And they're siding with fascists. So what is fascism? It's when government and corporations work together to screw you. That's what Twitter is doing.
Yep.
They're working with the military-industrial complex and the security state to censor truths. That's fascism. And those people who consider themselves lefties are for that. As they call everything they don't like fascist.
And they call it Russian.
Anything you want to add to that, Jackson? Are we done?
Yeah, so what he said there, that's right. The government's partner, the corporations like Amazon, like Twitter, like Facebook, like PayPal, all these guys, YouTube, Google, they're partnering up with the security state, the NSA, the DEA, the CIA, and the NIH, and everybody else, the FBI, the CIA, I think I said that, who, by the way, starts dirty wars, the FBI, who are criminals in themselves, who had informants on January 6th. Anyway, they're working with all of them to spread the narrative and spread censorship. And all these lefties are for that. They're supposed lefties. If you're right wing or if you're a lefty, you shouldn't be for censorship. What you should do, and I've said this a billion times on the channel, is if I want to have a talk about Ukraine and I'm a right winger, or if a right winger says that Jewish people are parasites, which is absolutely ridiculous and fucking stupid, I should be able to come on the show and say it's ridiculous and fucking stupid. You shouldn't be censoring me or them. I should be able to respond to Alex Jones and Steven Crowder and Stefan Molyneux. I should be able to respond to all these guys. But no, you can't even do that.
I should be able to say that people don't give a damn about disability rights as long as they can act like activists by supporting social justice issues, supposed social justice issues.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't say that either because your speech is being infringed upon. What is the First Amendment? You cannot infringe upon free speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, freedom of protest, and freedom of religion. You cannot infringe upon it. Yet Julian Assange and Daniel Hale are in prison. Chelsea Manning was in prison. And there are others. So here, let's see what Jackson has to say here.
Just that it's admittedly open now. There's new leaked documents, emails from the disinformation board when Nina Yankovic was still there, showing that they were meeting with heads of platforms like Twitter, and they were planning to work with these different platforms to enforce the added material or removal of certain content from their platforms, which is the exact thing Nina Yankovic said that the disinformation department wasn't going to do.
Yes.
But we all knew they were going to.
That's exactly what they were going to do. And now we know it. Here we're doing stand-up comedy.
All right. So exactly. They're meeting with these people and they're saying, hey, what are we going to accept? What are we not going to accept? How do we punish these people who are going against our narrative and our establishment narrative, by the way, because we don't want people to know the real truth, because if they know the real truth, they're going to come against us. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's not your neighbor's fault that inflation is high. It's not because your neighbor's a lefty, democratic, whatever you want to call them. It's not because they're a right-wing extremist. That's what the government tells the media to tell you, and then you repeat it. The worst nightmare for the government.
Too.
Yep, like a turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Mashed potatoes, gravy, and stuff. Anyway, apple pumpkin pie with some cream, with some whipped cream, some cheesecake. Either way, the worst nightmare for the government. The government's worst nightmare is you and me, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Green Party, Tea Party, People's Party, everybody coming together on class issues, working class issues. That is their worst nightmare. Why do you think they divide us the way they do? because they don't want you
they-
talking about the minimum wage. They don't want you talking about the lack of healthcare in our country. They don't want you talking about the lack of education, the lack of pay per teachers. They don't want you to talk about any of that. Why? Because then they know they are screwed.
Well,
So
I'm
they
gonna
just
go
divide
you one. I'll go you one further. They have two worst nightmares. Not only do they have the worst nightmare of you knowing the truth, but then they also have like, in a weird way, the government's doing its own kind of ethnic cleansing in that they are cleansing the world of white males.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let me get this link here. This link. Can't talk. Let's see. So let's go ahead and look at this link here. So let's go on to how hypocritical the U.S. empire is. So we're going to be so the U.S. decided that it was going to ban Russian energy, like Russian oil and Russian product, anything that came from Russia, socks, anything, anything that has to do with Russia. They you know they were gonna limit and ban, and then Joe Biden went to Iran and Venezuela, who he has sanctioned, and said, "Oh, can we have your oil?" And by the way, Joe Biden has been recognizing Juan Guaido, pretend fake ass president of Ukraine, who only has like 3% of the population that like him, and he's been recognizing him as president, not the president Nicolas Maduro. So they've been propping him up, but they had a meeting of the Americas. Guess who wasn't invited? Juan Guaido, who's the supposed president. I wonder why. Well, the reason why, and I'll go over that in another video. We might not get to it tonight, but the reason why is because they need oil, and if Maduro sees that Juan Guaido is there too, he's not going to give Joe Biden oil, and Nicolas Maduro might give him oil because he needs his country to have money, because they're indefinite. They're in starvation mode. They have famine, economic destruction, and death, all because of Joe Biden, by the way. Okay? So now, the U.S. is ruining our economy. Like Aaron rightly pointed out, your gas bill is going higher. When you go to put gas, it's $5 a gallon. When Chevron and Costco and Shell and all these corporations.
Which, by the way, don't get it twisted. It's not just gas either.
No. It's also you go to the store, your prices have gone up.
Yeah.
Now, if you normally spend $250 a week, you're now spending about $350, $500 a week because of how high the prices have gone. All because Joe Biden is banning a bunch of imports. All because Joe Biden is continuing this perpetual war in Ukraine. So just realize that. And now there's a bunch of people that are in trouble known as farmers.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another thing too, that Russia, the ruble, which is their currency, is doing so well. It's actually gone up so much. And Jackson Hinkle, one of my favorite YouTubers ever, is going to point that out. The Russian economy has gone up extremely, substantially high. And even the Russian bank is going, holy shit, we didn't expect this at all. It's awesome. So what is the U.S. empire doing? They're asking companies to get fertilizer from Russia because they are out. But they want to do it in secret. They want to do it in secret because they can't let the American people, they can't let you know that they're still trying to buy from Russia. But there's a problem that the companies are telling them and why the CEOs won't do it. So let's get into this video here. Aaron, I know you're going to have a lot of commentary. This is very interesting.
One of my favorite parts of the U.S. economic warfare, the sanction war that has been cast upon Russia, is the fact that when it came to the oil sanction, the oil and energy ban that Joe Biden announced on March 8th, well, it didn't go anywhere. In fact, Joe Biden announced on March 8th that he wanted to ban Russian energy imports into the U.S. And in the month of March, Joe Biden took in Russian oil. In fact, he nearly doubled the amount of Russian oil that he was taking into the United States.
Let's ban Russian oil. So I'm going to double my intake of Russian oil into the United States. Russia is so bad. Huh?
But he's not going to tell anybody that he is. It's like he's a diabetic trying to put his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, but diabetics are kind of told, hey, for your health, don't take it.
Well, and no, because this is the thing. We're not being told health, but what we are being told is for the unity of our country, and that's not necessarily the truth.
Sure. Exactly. They're saying, hey, don't tell the truth here. So we're telling you that Russia is bad. We're telling you that they're killing their own people, but we're still going to take their oil, even though it's the Ukrainians killing their own people. Here we go.
So he didn't really do what he preached.
That's
okay.
Right.
So, I mean, I just found it very odd. And the whole idea, again, behind this sanction warfare is a broad effort to try and destabilize Russia, ruin their economy, bring the Russian economy to its knees, as they put it.
So that's right. That's why these sanctions are in place. That's why. What are you doing? I heard. Are you doing some Velcro or farting noise? What?
Who?
You. I heard a.
No.
So what's? Are you doing?
I'm hearing
a
it too.
rapper? What is that?
No, I'm just walking.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Is it still there?
I'm still here.
No, I'm saying that sound. I have the YouTube link loaded. That sound, because I still hear it.
I don't right now.
Okay, let's. Perks of doing a live stream, and you're just using an iMac
Yeah, really.
and a monitor to do your thing.
It's back.
I still hear it. It's back. Aaron, go ahead and jump off stream. I want to see if it's me, and jump back on. Technical difficulties. Okay, so let's see if we can still hear the sound. Let me know in the chat if you still hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron, if you can come back. See if I can add him if he can. Wait, hold on. Let me text Aaron to come back. Hold on. Oh, come on. Wait, hold on. Oh, I see what's going on. I'm in Oscar's thing. All right. We will wait for Aaron before we continue the segment. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. Okay, so let me add Aaron back. Okay, so it was you the whole time, Aaron. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so it was you the whole time. It sounded like there was like a moth or like you were unwrapping something or something.
Well, I wasn't making any noise. All I'm doing is.
Well, yeah, I so weird. All right, so let's
There's some
let's
paranormal
continue.
crap going on. It's the Democrats. The Democrats are coming.
The Democrats are trying to stop our channel. They're trying to stop our stream. So that's the
censorship.
purpose of censorship, ladies and gentlemen, live on stream right now. Anyway, probably is. But right wingers would love that joke. If I put that as a short, they would I'd get 1 million views. Anyway, probably should do
You
that.
should. Just
I
for
probably
shits and
should. Get more views than Oscar. Yeah, that's
That's
our
not
goal.
hard.
So. Ooh, that killed! Oh boy, that killed me.
What?
What? I wish I could play that, but it said it was too short. Oh no, wait, we played it.
Yeah, we did play
We played
it.
it. We did
No,
play it.
I'm
We did
telling you,
play
that
it.
should be your intro. Welcome to Get the Memo. What?
What? Like a rock song.
Yes, dude.
I gotta do it. I
Absolutely.
gotta do it. I'll just cut that and then just what?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Get the Memo. What? And then it's Oscar's freaking cheesy ass intro.
It is cheesy. Like it's just one picture. Whereas mine, you've seen mine, right? For the sports
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
It's the pictures are jumping around. Yeah, my little sister did that. So should we play the video again or should we just continue?
Try to play the video again.
Okay, yeah. Let me rewind it.
Because I'm wondering if it's the video, not necessarily me.
Yeah, let me see. All right, let's do this.
Is a broad effort to try and destabilize Russia, ruin their economy, bring the Russian economy to its knees, as they put it. Now,
so that's how sanctions work, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly how sanctions. That's what they're supposed to do. Quite frankly, my belief is that the United States shouldn't have the right to sanction anybody. Why should one country have the right to censor everybody? It just makes absolutely no sense.
Well,
But the point of sanctions is to try and bring you to your knees. However, Russia's another big superpower. Had Russia been like Venezuela, had they been like, Iran or something, maybe it would actually affect them. But this is actually hurting us. It's doing the reverse. So, hold on.
has it done that? Let me answer quickly. No. In fact, the Western economies have been brought to their knees.
Yep.
You have an inflation crisis in the US, the UK, and the EU. You have.
So they put the sanctions. The EU put sanctions. In Ukraine, they put they're helping out. And guess what? All three continents, North America, Europe, and all that, all three are in an inflation crisis. Huh.
You have a food crisis that is on its way globally.
So now we got a food crisis. These are just ways that our economy is being affected. We have a food production crisis. We've got an inflation crisis that's raising all of our prices up the ass, and we're all being affected by it.
Which
okay,
I
what
see
else?
into my job.
And you see it in your job when people go buy their food stamps or use their food stamps at the store. Ladies and gentlemen, when you get food stamps, if you have SSI, they give you very little in food stamps. I only get $92. $92 will buy me like 3 things at the store if I'm lucky these days.
Well, and it's worse. Imagine going more people are getting bang for their buck, believe it or not, by paying for the yearly memberships at big box stores than they are going to places like a Publix or a Food Line or a Giant or a Kroger or
Albertsons or Vons or Smiths or yeah, your Walmarts, your Sam's Clubs, your Costco's. All those prices are going up, and people who are buying food stamps are getting less food than they used to. They were already getting less food. Now they're in starving mode. Well, they always were, but still, now it's worse.
You have a food inflation crisis that is unique, as well as gas price crisis. You have you're going to have, we're seeing really worrying signs around diesel prices as well, which is very important to keeping a country running. I mean, you think about like shipping goods, transporting goods, taking any goods off of a ship to transport, like all, it all takes diesel.
So when you get your products flown in, guess who has to? So if they fly in from Boston to LA, someone's got to take those products off. I mean, they have to take them to a warehouse, and then from the warehouse they have to deliver them to nearby cities and states. But how are they doing that? Diesel trucks. Am I right, Aaron?
Yeah, you are. And not only that, but you got to figure this too. Look at the way, like,
there's your watch.
Until you start to see trucks going electric.
Well, yeah, and I'm all for electric. I'm happy about that. But right now, because Joe Biden is a fucking cuck and he didn't do the 500,000 electric chargers grid that he wanted to do, he promised, and he just like every other promise, he said he was going to expand Medicare. He didn't. He only did it for like one little quarter. He said he was going to give you healthcare. He didn't. He's actually selling out to the healthcare corporations. He said that he said that he was gonna forgive $10,000 in student debt. Now he hasn't. He's just put a pause on your student loan payments. So anyway,
why are we surprised though? This is a politician.
We're not surprised. We're not. He's a politician. He's a Democrat.
This is a politician because politicians make empty promises until you get them in office, and then they do what they want.
Well, exactly. But I'm just because it's our current president, and they say that Trump, was so bad. Well, Biden's so bad. Look at the state of the country right now. But when you get your shipping materials and they fly them in, a diesel truck has to take them. When you go to the docks and the marinas and the oceans or whatever, when the ship comes in with all those goods and all that cargo, guess who has to pick them up? Diesel trucks. Giant, big diesel trucks. That FedEx driver that's driving through your neighborhood in your apartment complex, guess what he's using? A diesel truck. And now companies are paying higher prices for diesel. Who are they going to put that on? You. How are they going to put that on you? Well, when you buy from Amazon, when you buy from MLB, when you buy from cosmetics and beauty brands and health brands, they're going to start
big ass fees applied on your initial charges. Why do you think I stopped using DirecTV? Because they will give you charges out the wazoo.
I don't pay for it. My dad does, so
fair enough. But
hey,
that having been, well, it's funny because we have a friend of ours pays for HBO Max, so we don't pay for that.
Yeah, my friend pays for Paramount. I just pay half. My aunt pays for Disney Plus. I don't pay for that. My dad pays for Netflix. I don't pay for that.
We got the whole Disney bundle because we have it through our phone, our cell phone.
Oh,
our
yeah,
cell phone carrier.
That's how they get you. My cousins, they pay for ESPN Plus. I don't pay for that.
Dude, ESPN Plus is a freaking crock. ESPN Plus to me is almost on par with CNN Plus.
We can talk about that on the sports channel. You want
to? The reason, no, I'm just saying. The reason I'm saying that is because if you're not interested in sports-based documentaries, you're not getting anything from ESPN Plus.
Well, you're supposed to be able to watch events. So let's continue because the Dodger game's almost on. So we only got to a few topics today. So you need diesel to make this economy. Why do you think those freedom protesters, the truckers, they were trying to shut their income streams down? They're still trying to prosecute them because they were fighting the mask mandates. And guess what? And the what mandates, the things that go in your arms. I can't say it on this channel. Because that censorship we were talking about. So they were fighting that, and guess what? The country was at a standstill. Everything was at a standstill. Why? Because the truckers make everything happen. All right.
This is all very, very concerning stuff for us as we live in the West. We are seeing the highest inflation levels in the past 40 years. The stock market has now had the longest losing streak out of any period since the Great Depression.
By the way, mine is at my stock portfolio. It's my ABLE account, which Social Security can't do nothing to. Huh? It's at a minus 28% of rate of return right now. Anyway,
this is a very bad time that we are living in. Again, it's kind of hard to see it because we're living in the middle of this period, but it is very bad. Russia, on the other hand, according to Bloomberg, has the top performing currency of the year, the ruble. It's performing even better than Brazil's real. The ruble is at a 5-year high on the dollar, 7-year high on the euro. The Russian stock market is strong. The Russian central bank is even surprised at how well the Russian economy is operating.
But sanctions, ladies and gentlemen, let's put sanctions on one of the world's biggest superpowers. So you just heard the ruble is 5 times higher on the dollar, 7 times higher on the euro, a couple times higher than the real of Brazil or whoever it was. All of this is coming down. So the central bank of Russia is going, holy crap, our economy is doing amazing. So the Russian economy is not affected. But the U.S., European, and Ukrainian economies, they are really in shambles right now. All because of these puppets of the U.S. and the U.S. government creating these policies that have ruined our economies. So he just laid out how the Russian economy is doing stars and stripes, literally amazing. And our economy is in shambles, all because of Joe Biden.
Whereas the Treasury Secretary in the United States, Janet Yellen, is admitting that these Russian sanctions are hurting the West. They're hurting the U.S. So, Joe Biden did all this virtue saying, we're going to, come on, man, we're going to sanction Russia. Well, has it really worked? Is it viable?
No.
Will it continue? The next story I'm about to show you might give us a little bit of a better look into some of those questions, okay? Let's break this down. U.S. is quietly encouraging more Russian fertilizer deals to ease food costs.
Such full of it.
I just want you to know the hypocrisy.
Western sanctions have disrupted Russia's fertilizer exports. Oh no. The U.S.
I wonder why they've disrupted the Russian fertilizer exports.
is quietly encouraging shipping companies and agricultural companies to purchase and transport more Russian fertilizer to lower global food costs, as Western sanctions have disrupted supplies.
Quietly. They're quietly asking these companies, hey FedEx, hey USPS, hey UPS, do you want to, hey Amazon,
Do you want to fix prices?
do you want to like help us get some fertilizer, but don't tell the American people because,
They're idiots.
they're idiots, they won't know, but if we keep it from them,
Oh, Zucalin.
But are the companies following it? I wonder.
Bloomberg reported on Monday.
But by the way, these companies, they're being told is because they're to do it quietly because the U.S. doesn't want you to know that secretly we kind of need Russia.
U.S. and EU sanctions on Russia technically have exemptions for fertilizer, but the sanctions discouraging shipping firms, insurance companies, and banks from doing business with Russia altogether. As a result, Russia's fertilizer exports are down 24% this year. Now,
So remember, they're discouraging any company from doing any business with Russia. Okay, so he's setting it up, and I'm setting it up as you need to know the context. So these companies don't even do business with Russia. We demand you don't do business with Russia. So now businesses aren't doing business with Russia. Spotify, Netflix. By the way, Netflix is falling down the drain. And like we talked about last time with you, Aaron. So they're encouraging these companies not to do business. But now there's a big problem. And the insurance companies that insure these companies. So
what is so interesting about this? Well, yeah, I mean, that is the point. The fact that these sanctions not only targeted they excluded the fertilizer from the sanctions, but they targeted everything else around the sanctions. So shipping companies aren't going to ship fertilizer if they have no insurance to ship. You can't do banking with Russia because they've sanctioned every bank with the exception of SWIFT. So it it's a de facto ban pretty much on fertilizer for the United States when it comes to purchasing Russian fertilizer, big producer of Russian fertilizer, okay?
So you can't do banking with Russia because all the banks except SWIFT are shut down and sanctioned by the U.S. By the way, you can't
because they're Russian-based banks.
They're Russian-based banks. You also can't. Uh, the businesses don't want to do it because they're not going to get insurance because the insurance companies they don't want to get sanctioned. These
The
companies don't
sanctions
want to
are
get
causing
sanctioned.
the United States to become the world's sort of
Isolated.
bully. Well, yeah.
They are, but it's also backfiring because we're becoming isolated. They make fun of North Korea for being isolated.
We're becoming like Japan was back in the day.
Yes. So you see this, right? So these are
I do see it,
problems.
yeah.
These are problems. You can't do banking. You can't do business. The companies they don't want to do business because they're afraid of not getting insurance. The insurance companies don't want to insure if they're gonna, and he's gonna point this out that they're gonna get sanctioned. So it's a de facto ban if you can't do any of that on fertilizer. You can't bring the fertilizer if all that's going on.
Now, let me show you this. So the reason why we know that the fertilizer crisis is as big of an issue as it is because we have years of evidence and years of data to look back on, reflect on, and compare the current fertilizer prices and wheat prices too. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So this is a graph which shows us fertilizer prices that are outstripping that of crops. Okay, so here you have the crop index in dark blue. You can see it's rising, but it's nowhere near close to the level of the fertilizer index. Okay, so fertilizer price growth is far outstripping that of crops.
Interesting.
Very, very concerning to say the least, because if it costs significantly more money to produce a good than it does to, sell it, well, that's just like a basic economic issue. If your raw materials outprice or begin to outprice the product itself, that's going to cause the product to increase, to spike in price dramatically. Okay,
that's right.
Now we also have
Basic
this
economics.
graph we can look at. This is the price of wheat right now. So
can you see the graphs on the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. I'm just asking because you have more vision than me, and I just want the viewers to see it.
Too is skyrocketing, and it's only going to go further and further up as fertilizer prices go further and further up. Now, what you can't see here on this graph, let me show you.
So before he shows this, so he just laid it out, but I'm just going to lay it out. If I have bread and the bread, the wheat that makes my, who puts wheat in their bread? But if you have wheat and it's growing faster, but if you have wheat that's growing in price faster than the bread is going to increase. So the raw material that makes your product, it cannot be higher priced than your product itself, because then what's going to happen? What's happened now? The chemicals that make the gas, they're at higher prices, so your gas is at a higher price. The chemicals that make the things that make your ham, that make your cheese, that make your mixings, your spices, they're all at higher prices. So now the actual product is at a higher price. That's part of what causes inflation.
Further back a little bit. So what you can't see here on this graph is 2008. Now, the 2008 financial crisis did cause fertilizer prices to skyrocket. I think it was like up to right around here, around to the 200 mark. Nowhere near close to what we're now experiencing, well above 300 on the fertilizer index. It's a crisis that we have not seen the likes of before, in many more ways than one. As I mentioned, inflation crisis of a magnitude we haven't seen over the past 40 years.
So remember in the 70s, okay, and even the 80s, we had this problem where the gas lines were so long. It was when Carter and Ford were presidents, and Carter from 1977 to 1981. that inflation was so bad that Ronald Reagan could run on it. Carter ran on it against Ford, and then so on and so on.
It became
So-
like a springboard for a lot of campaigns.
That's right. Without that, I don't think. Well, I think Ronald Reagan still would have won. But either way, we can get into that later. But this is 40 years ago, and yet we're seeing the worst since then. It had not been this bad. Now, technology is more advanced. Our economies are more advanced. The dollar's more. Everything's more advanced. And what happens when it's more advanced and there's a bigger supply and demand? The population has grown. It's worse.
U.S. and EU sanctions on Russia technically have exemptions for fertilizer, as we mentioned, but the sanctions discourage shipping firms, insurance companies, and banks from doing business with Russia altogether. As a result, Russia's fertilizer exports are down 24% this year. Citing people familiar with the matter, the Bloomberg report said the U.S. officials were surprised by the caution companies were taking over the sanctions.
Surprised? Why would the U.S. government be surprised?
They're getting what they want. Why would they be surprised?
Yeah. You don't want to do business with Russia? Come
No, I'm
on.
not.
You told me not to do business with Russia. F
I'm
you.
just doing what you said.
Exactly. I don't want to, and because they're surprised because the companies don't want to take a giant risk. It's more of a risk to do business with Russia these days because of the U.S. propaganda.
No, it's
So
true.
now the U.S. is surprised at these corporations.
Idiots.
But history knows,
Yeah.
or history shows, even if there are built-in exemptions, sanctions still cause shortages of food and humanitarian goods. For example, U.S. sanctions on Iran technically have exemptions for medical goods, but still have caused medicine shortages in the country. The effort to boost Russian fertilizer exports as part of the negotiations involving the UN to increase deliveries of fertilizer, grain, and other agricultural goods from Ukraine and Russia. The West has blamed Russia for blocking Ukrainian grain exports, while Moscow is pointing the finger at Kiev for mining its ports and not allowing Russian ships to leave.
That's actually true. Ukraine's doing a bunch of blockades, so now Russian ships are stuck in Ukraine. What's your thoughts here before we go on with the video?
I mean, call a spade, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, how are you going to point the finger at Russia? You're not giving us fertilizer. You're not letting me. You're not.
This whole situation is fertilizer.
Exactly. You know, give permission for fertilizer. I know give fertilizer. You know, take fertilizer. Anyway, you're not letting Russia give you fertilizer. You're forming blockades where their ships are, so their ships can't leave, which are carrying the fertilizer. Oops. And other humanitarian goods and medicines and you name it. Those ships are carrying it. And well, you can't leave because then you're benefiting Russia. Okay, well, now you're benefiting Russia, but now you're going to not benefit the U.S. Oops. Now the U.S. is in a crisis. You see how they are sanctioning Venezuela and Iran, and now they're trying to play buddy-buddy with Venezuela and Iran because, holy shit, we just banned Russia. And now they're doing this to businesses. Don't do business with Russia. Well, let's blame Russia for you not doing business with Russia.
How about we blame you for being a jackass?
I want to jack your ass.
All right, brother.
Oh, shoot.
Just unwind.
Hyundai Palisade versus Toyota Highlander.
Oh, we got an ad.
Let's just add to this and not see that ad.
Let me see if I can. Can I skip it?
Can I skip it? Can I skip you like a rock? That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good.
Hyundai Palisade wins every time.
Here we go.
True. Very true. So yes, this has been reported in Bloomberg as well. U.S. quietly urges Russia fertilizer deals to unlock grain trade. So that just goes to show.
You know that Nutri-Grain cereal you eat and those Nutri-Grain bars? I wonder how they're made. I wonder where they come from.
Russia.
How poorly the sanction war is going for the United States. They're literally in private telling big agriculture, like, hey, guys, We know we pretty much did a de facto fertilizer ban as a result of the sanctions on the banks and the shipping companies and the insurance companies. But listen, we're gonna let you slide on this one. Go buy some Russian fertilizer. It'll be okay. We're not gonna sanction you. It's okay. We just need to get those fertilizer prices down because the sanction war is going so good they can't even afford fertilizer. And if they do try to buy the fertilizer that is available, it's going to cause food prices to skyrocket even more.
So, Aaron, why, if they're able to afford it and they pay such a really high and steep price for fertilizer, would it cause the food prices to increase? Take a wild guess.
Because people can't afford to get out to the stores to actually buy the damn food in the first freaking place.
Yeah, but why would it increase the food price? If I'm paying for fertilizer and it's, let's say, 300 times what it's normally worth, why would my food prices go up?
Because it's costing more to actually make, like, it's causing more to actually grow, costing more. Why can't I talk today? It's costing more to grow the damn food.
And to make the damn food. Exactly. Huh. So the sanctions are going so good.
My
ass cheeks, right? Because the U.S. apparently can't afford the fertilizer, and like he said, even if they could, that's going to increase our food prices more than they have already increased. By the way,
which
they already are skyrocketing.
$5 for a freaking gallon of milk right now.
$5. I went to the store when I was it was like 2015, 2016. I was a senior in high school. I know I was 2016. I was getting ready to graduate. And we had the El Dorado parade in May, and I remember my parents left me at home. My dad and stepmom. Anyway, I do that all the time to describe that little whore. Anyway, so
sweet.
Oh, I'm such a good stepson. I'm a terrible stepson. Anyway, she's a terrible stepmom. Well, why the fuck am I going to be a good son? Anyway,
so who's stepping on who in this case?
Huh?
I said, so who's stepping on whom in this case?
Oh. Anyway, so her friend takes me out to the store. I swear to God, I think I only bought like milk and cereal and orange juice. $16. Today, that would be like $25 at the store.
Oh, it would be. There ain't no freaking doubt about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skyrocketing, but it'll be loads worse than what we're seeing right now.
Yep.
I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So we'll see how this plays out. We'll see if if Big Ag decides to move forward with this again. I'd be worried if I was an agricultural producer. I'd be worried if I was any of these companies, insurance companies, shipping companies. It's very worrying to see that the U.S. is still keeping the sanctions, but telling these companies to continue operations. Kind of seems like a recipe for disaster for me. And the other aspect of this is, even if we do see companies move forward with these fertilizer exports or these fertilizer imports, I guess, from Russia, it's still going to be fertilizer at a premium, because as we saw with India is selling refined oil at a steeper price right now because they run the risk of getting sanctioned by, their association with Russia. They're buying Russian oil at an increased rate. They're refining it and selling it to Europe. They're selling it at a higher price, though, because they do run the risk still of being sanctioned, of companies in India being sanctioned. So they're trying to buy, Russian oil cheaper, and I think it's good on them. They should buy Russian oil cheaper because they do actually run the risk of being sanctioned. So the idea that the U.S. just whispering in the ears of...
That's right. And India is one of the third world countries, and they need to keep their companies alive to keep the country alive. You saw in India that strike that happened, right? Where every industry went on strike last year.
Yeah, I saw that.
Every single one. And that's boom. I think they're still going. I don't know. We need a general strike in this country. But they're buying Russian gas because it's cheaper. And then they're benefiting their economy by selling it to people like Europe for a higher price. In fact, Germany is still buying Russian oil. And they're selling it to Brussels, who banned Russian gas. What's happening is they're buying it, and then Russia is basically forcing people like Brussels to buy the Russian gas in rubles so that they can benefit from their economy, which is one of the reasons the currency has gone up so high. But it's also the Germany is benefiting. By the way, they're the number one economy in the world. They're now increasing their economy, and they're standing in the world economy because they're selling Russian gas at a higher price too.
Which, by the way, if you know history the way I do, who would have been able to think that the same country who the blame for every atrocity has been dumped upon since World War I, who would have thought that this same country that basically had their army dissected piece by piece is now the best economy in the world?
Well, part of it was we were helping East Germany.
The restoration, yeah, I know that.
Right. And then West Germany after 89, after 1990, we started helping them revive West Germany because they were now not allies with Russia. That's what happened.
Even then, they were torched so bad that, like, they were just so bad economically that our help only took them so far.
Well, sure, but it's also the way they invested, though. Look at how their economy works. Their economy works for the bottom up.
Yeah, well, and that the point that I'm making is that it's amazing, like, for them, how much they've turned it around since since the end of Hitler, really.
Well, since the end of Hitler, since the Cold War, exactly. When you have East Germany, actually, wasn't East Germany because people were trying to escape to West Germany.
People were trying to escape, but they were never that successful.
Well, it depends. There were some that were because they've been interviewed. But wasn't West Germany's economy better than East Berlin?
I think it depended on like what industry you were talking about, because I think
why would you escape East Germany to go to West or East Berlin to go to West Berlin?
Well, why would you escape North Korea to go to South Korea?
Well, so there you go. The economy was terrible. But either way, one part of Germany had their economy revived. I think what it was the U.S. said, "Hey, we'll debilitate your economy, or we'll elevate it. We'll help it." Japan said, "We'll help it." It got all of that help. But look at when we were at the golden age. Look at the tax rate, how it was. It benefited the poor. It benefited the middle class. It helped the rich still, but they were paying more in taxes. And guess what? The economy survived. And I know right wingers, that's not true. It is true. Shut up. So their economy stayed
what was that freedom of speech you were talking about again?
Which one?
You were talking about freedom of speech, and then you just told a whole bunch of people to shut up.
Oh, yeah, but they're right wingers. Ah, see? No, but I mean, it's true though. Look at the way their economy works, and look at the way ours works. That's why California is the number 5 economy in the world, but their people are still poor, and there's homeless people on every single freaking corner. So let's finish this video here.
Of some, CEOs to say, hey, just go along with this, just buy the fertilizer and everything will be okay. It's not gonna address all the issues. It's not gonna make the issues go away, because if they still run the risk of being sanctioned, if a company still runs the risk or a country still runs the risk of being sanctioned, they're going to increase their prices. So you're still going to be paying more for fertilizer, but I guess their idea is maybe they can offset some of these issues by just like bringing more fertilizer into the global equation. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Given how the sanction war has gone thus far, I can't imagine that these people have any sort of a good plan. And I don't think it'll go well for the West.
All right. So, unfortunately, my family's going to come back and it's going to be too loud for us to do another topic. But, we'll end there, I guess. But it's just so perfect. Ain't it, Aaron? Even if they were able to go get that fertilizer, it would still be too expensive. So then we're going to still increase our food prices or whatever. And it's so funny how the U.S. sanctions have failed. It's so funny that they've told everybody not to do business with Russia. And yet now they're struggling so bad. The U.S. can't, the dollar is at such a low. Did you hear how Saudi Arabia is betraying the United States, which they've always betrayed the United States? I don't know what we kept them in for the petrodollar. They're now going to stop buying on the dollar, and they're now going to start buying from the Chinese yuan.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. Honestly, like
I'm not either. But if you look at it,
I think there are some communist roots in Saudi Arabia, where I think that's why they were able to, where China was able to convince them to work with them.
That's probably it. Xi Jinping was like, "I'm a communist. You're a communist. Let's go." But it's also they see where the U.S. dollar is going. I've spoken to Naeem about it on this podcast 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So you spoke to nobody on it. I'm just kidding.
He got a lot of views though.
Just because of you, not because of him.
That's right. Exactly. See, I'm glad you recognize that.
But
when
see,
me
between
and you
you-
are on Oscar's channel, we get more views.
I'm telling you, we are the attraction.
We are. Oh, attraction, huh? We should be in a theme park.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Guess my weight, baby.
Here's my way. Anyway, so oh man, I really would love to do how they're banning people on PayPal. I wish I could do the European dudes calling out Russia. So either way,
It's a reason for us
just
to
so
get back
funny.
together again.
Right. Hold on. So I would, for me, I'm just so it's just they know where the U.S. dollar is going. Chip Roy, a right wing Congress member, said, "Well, we're gonna start buying all this crap. We don't even have the money, so we're gonna go borrow from other currencies. That's more debt." So the U.S. Yeah. Are you available tomorrow night around this time, around 8 your time?
Yo, I'm good, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So are you down to do a live stream?
Let's kick some ass.
Let's kick some ass and some dick.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, baby.
All right. That's right. Oh boy. Anyway.
yeah.
Oh yeah. And why do I feel like In and Out?
Oh, you feel like what?
In and Out? In
Oh.
and Out Burger?
I've never had an out burger, believe it or not.
If they ever get one in Florida, you need to try In and Out. It is the bomb.com.
I think the main reason why I haven't had it is just money.
Oh, dude, you can get a double cheeseburger, fries, and a drink for $7.
Buck.
$7.
Where's my damn burger?
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna have to end there, but we will be back tomorrow night with Aaron Faxon. I will put his link in this description and in tomorrow's description. We will cover as many topics as we can. The Faxman cometh, Faxmanity. And man, I'm gonna have to edit this title then. So we will hopefully finish Ukraine tomorrow, and maybe we'll have to take it into Thursday. I hope we don't, but if we do, we'll have more videos to have to post. But thank you to Aaron for coming. Aaron, stay on after the stream ends.
Bro, I got you.
Oh yeah. Thank you for to all of you who have watched. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press the post notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. We are working on a payment method. And I will talk for the channel. We're not going to use PayPal or Venmo or Cash App or any of those because we are afraid of what they will do.
No more censorship.
Arbitrarily ban. So yes, we are looking for a way to not get censored. We might have to use a plugin, but we will discuss that more. And Aaron, what's coming up on your podcast?
I don't really have anything too big. I just want to jam with people, man. I'll freaking make you laugh until you're side splitting.
Side splitting.
Yeah, baby.
Sounds like a fun sport.
Side boob, side split. It's all good. It's all the same thing.
Side boob, side split, side ass.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like that episode where he's like, a sheriff comes over. Yes, hi, we're looking for a young delinquent. Well, hell, who isn't? Who isn't? And they're like,
yeah,
okay,
man.
whatever. Like, we know, like, oh, that's a pervert. The cops are like, okay.
Who swallows more time RPM wins.
Yes. Boys, we can settle this like reasonable and sexy teenagers.
60 adults. Get your fat
teenagers.
space ass back here.
Get your fat ass back here.
Get your fat space ass back here.
Or what was that episode with the German dude where he's like,
it's Fred Flicknot.
It's Flash. The way you said it. Ah. Hello, Lieutenant Schlecknock. But he's like, oh no. But he's like,
oh my.
Oh my. You know that better. I'm jealous. But that part where he's like, what's that part? Oh, you distracted me. Oh, you bitch.
Oh, how sweet.
It's in that episode. Oh, he's like, if they pointed to your left, you died. If you pointed to the right, you did hard labor. For some reason, they thought I was gay. And I'm just like, I wonder why.
Gee, I wonder why.
I wonder why. I was only trying to dig in his pants.
I was only trying to slip it where I could slick it.
Okay.
Damn.
Oh God. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you for joining, ladies and gentlemen, for this freak show. Let me know what you think in the comment. What?
I said, ha!
Oh. I just heard ha. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to these live streams. But also, let me know what you think in the comments about all of this, about Russia, about Ukraine, about the U.S. response, about everything. Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you all tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.